match here. Could be the final one if Cranky Ducklings player is not able to pull it out. And here we are spawning in the bottom right of Acid Plants in purple from Cranky Ducklings. It is Milk and Cookies. And his opponent in the top left, our Zerg player in red. That, my friends, is an early pull. From Ris3n community, it is Kenshin. So, rather early pull here from our Zerg player. Actually saw this yesterday and it ended up turning into a Roach Ravager sort of an all-in. Except the Zerg player forgot their overlords back home. So it didn't go great for him. I'm not a huge fan of early pulls against Terran because, of course, Terran can wall off, but if it is indeed to go into Roaches and see some Ravagers, it can be super, super annoying to deal with. But we do see just 6 Lings in production there, Queen in production as well, so it does look like it's going to be just straight up Lings, maybe some Banes, just a super quick bust. Have to see how Milk and Cookies is able to respond to it. And if he opens up standard, which I imagine he will, he's going to be throwing down a command center and his natural base location. Hasn't scouted. Isn't going to know this is coming across the map. There's going to be 6 Lings. They're going to have speed eventually. It's quite a long time before they do. It is only 6 Lings. There's going to be a Reaper out. Reaper can deal with 6 slow Lings in a matter of time. Unless he takes them on a path that will avoid the Reaper. Which would be really cool. And a possible thing. You have another barracks being put down. There is no wall off here. Actually, a reactor is thrown down. Is he going to see the Lings? He sees the Lings flying on past. There is no wall. He immediately walls in. Really quickly responded to there by our Terran player. Reaper does come back home. Should we deal with this? Got to be careful with the grenades because he actually could bounce the Lings into his base if he's not careful. But for the time being, he's just trying to micro around and deal with the Lings as best he possibly can. Doesn't necessarily want to have to cancel the command center, but may end up having to. He doesn't necessarily know if there's going to be more Lings behind this, which there are. There's a ton more behind this. And they're going to have speed here in just a second, finishing up. More and more Lings rallying across the map. We got 16 in total. Of course, the Reaper is still trading decently well. Marines in production as for Milk can try and help deal with this. Really does want to have to cancel this command center, but speed finishes up now. Ooh, gotta be careful there. He's going to have to cancel the command center. Reaper, stay alive. Yep. Command center does get canceled, which honestly is probably all Kenshin wanted to happen. Hatchery at the natural for Kenshin is finishing up pretty quickly. He's got a lot of Lings already, so for a good period of time, Kenshin can just drone and be happily droning away back home. I did take a moment and I looked at their ladder statistics in their profiles before we got in the lobby here. ZVT is actually Kenshin's best matchup. He has something like a 9-2 record in ZVT. And Milk and Cookies was, I think, 6-6 in TVZs on ladder. So this could be a good chance for an upset here. And thus far, Kenshin has opened up pretty well. Throwing a Spore Crawler in back home, just trying to stay safe. If it's going to be a Banshee follow-up, which could be a nice response to this sort of a play. Lings are still here being annoying. Even a bunker being made up in the high ground just in case this were possibly going to be a Bane bust. And Milk has, I mean, he's got no idea. He doesn't know. He hasn't been able to scan. Of course, his natural command center got canceled. So he hasn't been able to see that there is a natural here. His Reaper's been stuck on his side of the map, so he hasn't been able to scout at all. He's finally getting across. So he might be able to get into the main base. He's just going to check and make sure there's no third, which should be at least a little bit of sigh of relief here for the Terran player, seeing if there isn't a third base just yet. Command center has finished here for Milk and Cookies. So he's going to be able to at least have that in his corner. Let's turn it into an orbital and float it down here relatively shortly. Roach Horn on the way for the Zerg player. Reaper did go down to the other side of the map, trying to get in, so still really no information here for Milk and Cookies. He hasn't seen anything in either of the bases, which is just a shame for him. Medevac does pick up quite a few units. Stem might be done by the time these Marines get across the map. They may run into either Overlords, which is a bunch of Overlords on this side, The Lings are running about, looking probably for just hidden expansions, but they're going to end up missing that this drop is coming in. There is an Overlord on this side of the map, but there really isn't anything to help defend this. Yeah, there's a bunch of Lings out. Of course, they're over here on this side of the map, not doing anything. No roaches in production to speak of, so it's only a couple of queens. Kenshin sees this now, wondering how he's actually going to react to this. Unable to really see anything happening. He's unloading, he doesn't react to it at all. He's not reacted. Looking at his vision here, he finally sees it coming in. He's like, wait a second. I gotta freak out and do something about this, but nothing's gonna happen. He's pulling his drones away, trying to bring the Lings back home. He's got 4 roaches in production, but the Roach Warren is actually targeted down, taken out. Roach Speed gets canceled off. Ris3n Marines, very, very good units. Lings run in here with a run into a meat grinder. Yeah, there's not a lot of these a lot of the Marines here, but they do have the 2 medevacs in support. 4 roaches do pop out, but 3 of them just kind of walk on by, take a little bit of damage there. And now Milk and Cookies can just sit here and take out the lair and pick up, get out. No, he has his opponent on 1 base. Roach Warren was being remade here by Kenshin. Lair being remade already as well. He does have another hatchery that was morphed in on this side of the map. So he does essentially kind of cancel this out. He's back down to 2 bases. A couple Marines will get left behind here. There's not enough room in just the 1 medevac. Sad to say. Medevac's going to get in here. Actually, could find a good position just to sit if he wants to do that. Yeah, right behind here. Doesn't want to do that necessarily. Going to go over to the 3rd base location. Maybe drop off and do a little bit of damage there. Back home, he's just been macroing up, getting up what he possibly can. Got some tank production as well. Marines were dropped momentarily, but they're going to try and go to the natural, but Queens are here to thwart that. Marines still say, yeah, I don't care, we're going to drop. Going for these Queens here. Nice transfuse on that 1 Queen. Getting work done, but Marines, Stim, Medevac, it is such a good combo. Marines in the main base still exist as well. They've been doing some damage up there. They finally, these Marines and the Medevac do pick up and get on out of there. Oh, he's going to lose that. Oh. Walks directly into the Spore Crawler. There was another double drop that got loaded up and is now over the 3rd base location, and there's just nothing over here. There's 11 roaches. There's a single Ravager as well. There's such a slow time responding to this. Hatchery does go down, so now Kenshin is on 1 base. He's got 22 drones there. Actually, 25, 27 drones over there. But another bit of dropping. It's going to drop all these Marines behind the Roach Warren, behind the spawning pool. It's so hard for these roaches to get on top of this. Roach Warren does go down. Milk and Cookies just picks up and gets out. No problem. Stand Comet Shell, the only upgrades we've seen so far from the Terran player. No engineering base just yet. Okay, there is an engineering bay, but there we go. +1. Attack being researched, another engineering bay being thrown down. No 3rd command center just yet. He's been a little busy killing his opponent. Looking like Kenshin's going to try and take another base over here. He is retaking his main hatchery. Might want to lift this Spore Crawler. Try to bring it over to some creep, but it's probably going to end up just bleeding out. Marines walking around the map. Got a tank in support as well, but the medevacs are just staying home. They weren't getting paid for this hour, so they're staying there. At least I hope they realize they need to do something. They're staying back home for the time being. Force has moved out here. Another drop into the main base. Cancels that hatchery. At least it was canceled, so that's nice. It's just so hard right now for Kenshin to deal with. He's going to walk in here. He's got enough to deal with it. He can have to throw it away, but yeah, Milk just picks up and leaves. Same time, this force on the right side of the map is going to be walking in. What is it going to be able to get done? Probably a lot. That 3rd base is going to be under fire real quick here. There's really nothing. Yeah, that base gets canceled as well. Drop goes down once again into the main. It's getting attacked from 2 different sides. And it's just way too much to deal with right now for our Terran player, or for the Zerg player. And as soon as Milk decides to combine his forces, he can even just drop this down here if he wants to. He will. We'll go ahead and drop that. Take this base out as well. He still has the main force out front. He wants to bring that in. Queens do focus down the weak medevac, so that does die. So that's nice. It's a nice little victory, but Main force is moving in now. There's a tank under here somewhere. Or maybe it died off. I'm not really sure. Hatchery does go down. Main force, again. Reinforcements coming in as well. There are a lot of roaches here, so this is kind of difficult to deal with, to get on top of and kill necessarily. But there should be plenty here for Milk Cookies now. He does have +1 attack finished up. Nothing but a few roaches remain. And they're getting killed off. Doubling the supply. The rest of the army is coming in from the other side as well. Now the Evo Chumps are under fire. He still has roaches. He still has 5 roaches in production, another queen as well, but now his natural base is completely under fire. No third necessary in this game for our Terran player. He's just going to run on forward. Drones pull the line, but they're not going to do so great. Yeah, they get slaughtered pretty quickly. It's looking like we're near the end here for Kenshin. As soon as he decides to type those 2 little letters, there we are, GG. He will tap out. Milk and Cookies will keep Cranky Ducklings alive, at least for another game. Well, as soon as he actually leaves the game. There we go. GG, Milk and Cookies. We are 3-2 now here in this best of 7 all-kill series.